What's up, everybody? It's me, KiNGAlpha. Hope everybody's doing great. I am sorry I have not been posting videos and everything. Personally, I'm still a little bit sick. Just got just dry throat and shit. So if I do cough a lot in this video and everything, it's obvious because I still have some phlegm. And what is it? This is going to be a tier list, basically just for purple units. Now, King tier is basically going to be the typical, you use it in both sorry, you use it in TW, Siege, and ranked and everything. Um, Alpha tier is going to be one of those where it's like they're good in both like Siege and TW. It can be a rare case that you don't use them in TW and stuff like that, but they can also be really good in ranks. So Alpha tier will most likely be like it's a good unit, but most likely you can use it in ranked and regular Siege. Most likely not in TW, depending on whatever the focus is. Um, Beta and all that type of stuff is. And then I changed the last one to rework slash do not use, meaning just rework it and just do not use this unit. And I know, and I'm gonna say this again, I know it's the beginning of the video. I know some people will have different opinions, like, yo, Alpha, I did this with this unit, and things like that. Yes, some of these units, funny enough, even if they can be completely trash, you can get that nice little charge off, or just they do something crazy or some shit, or you get some free kills off of peasants and stuff. Yeah, I understand. However, I'm going to do this at the level of which currently I play the game at, which you see things constantly in terms of which unit you just never want to see in the battlefield when you're with your team and stuff. So again though again though this is simply just my opinion. I know a lot of other people might not agree with it, but I want to create this tier list so that at least for you guys can actually grind for these units and stuff like that. So we're gonna do infantry, ranged, and then cav last, like the typical, way to do it. So Imperial pikes are first, and if you guys, if it's really hard to see the pictures, I kind of doubt it. I mean, they look pretty good. You would just need to know. There is one cav that is missing here, which is the Kutsuval Cavalry. I don't have them unlocked, so I didn't get a picture for them, but don't use them. Anyways, Imperial pikes are king tier. Now I know some people are gonna be like, "What? Fortibratcher are better," and all that type of stuff. However, in the purple only meta, you still do definitely need at least one or like a couple Imperial pikes in TW. You definitely still can use them in ranked and in both siege. Now in siege, they're probably not gonna feel as strong due to the fact that everybody's either using a spam of berserkers or palace guards and stuff like that. However, if you can use Imperial Pikes correctly and you're using them with the squad and stuff, they are still really good, and especially in ranked as well. It really just depends on the user using these. Now, Imperial Pikes were way stronger back then. However, now due to CC immunity coming out with a lot of units and stuff, this is where Imperial Pikes have kind of fallen off. However, in the purple only unit meta, Imperial Pikes are definitely king tier. Now, Imperial Shields are going to be king tier as well. I know some people are going to be like, "What? What do you mean king tier?" These guys are just meat shields. If you guys don't know, these guys got a rework and everything, and they basically get CC immunity when in cover commander. And with them being in cover commander, you get CC immunity. You even do the advanced, they get CC immunity. Now the thing is that a lot of people are like, okay, but you're just soaking up a bunch of damage, not actually getting any kills. And, that's the point of the shield unit. So these are probably our best shields in the game right now. Mainly just due to the fact that these guys have that CC immunity. And they actually can cover so much area. It's really, really awesome. Sometimes, it's so hard to even break through these Imperial shields if you don't actually use Artie, or you don't actually have units that can actually pile drive through them. Um, they're definitely on par with like Immortal Garrison in terms of how good their shields are. It's just Immortal Garrison obviously do damage. Okay, so Axe Raiders. I'm going to be putting Axe Raiders at Alpha tier because they can definitely be used in siege and ranked. And it's really good for anybody that like starts to spam ranged units and stuff like that. I think there's always like that one axe raider unit that I would have loved if he would have sneaked in and then just threw his axes behind and killed all the range and stuff. Um, they were definitely king tier back in season 9, but ever since they did get changed, in terms of their one ability and stuff like that, they are good, but they're not as good as they used to be. And especially in melee, they are kind of losing to a lot of the new melee units and stuff like that. Um, but they are still a good unit to have. Are they a priority to probably unlock? No. But they are definitely a fun unit, and sometimes even the axes, when they do the axe throws and stuff, can be very annoying and harassing and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. Next is Asseps. Now, Asseps, I'm going to put in buff, please, because the last little rework that they did or anything like that, I think it actually kind of like messed them up a little bit. And due to the fact of all the other units, it almost makes Asseps just feel almost pointless. Now, in a 1v1 situation, Asseps are pretty good. However, in blob fights, Asseps really lose like a lot of effect like on the battlefield and everything, and that's where the game has kind of gotten to, where it's not a lot of 1v1s anymore with units. It's a lot of huge blob fights and stuff like that, and Asseps really struggle in that. So I personally feel like I don't know whether they just need some base stats increase or what, but I know that they did change how the 2 and 3 ability work now, and I think it actually worked a bit better before. Um, but I don't know. Give me your opinions on Asseps. I just personally think that they need a buff. Um, it's just one of those things where it's like, I just personally know if I choose Asseps, I could have gotten better value out of something else. All right, Huskarls. So these bad boys just came out, and listen, guys, they are alpha tier. Now I know some people are gonna be like, "Yo, my Huskarls have done absolutely like trash. They've just been trash alpha." What do you mean? Now, the thing is, these guys are amazing on chant level 3. Chant level 2, they're pretty good. Chant level 1 and below is where they really struggle. But I think it's mainly due to the fact of, for one, I think Huskarls do shield bash too much, and it is a bit annoying because they should use their axes more, but they mainly every time, just with Boar Snout and Gathering Storm, it's mainly just all about the shield bash. However, the chant level 2, which is Sea Surge, and then the Huskarl's Charge, are all a nice mix of a bash and an axe. So in terms of the Huskarls, I think they just need an AI fix in terms of Boar Snout and Gathering Storm, especially Gathering Storm, because you basically have it where there can be enemies right in front of you, and when you do Gathering Storm, if you had some Huskarls just on the sides, they basically just charge. They can charge into a wall if they wanted to. So I think once Huskarls get an actual like proper AI fix, or they change how like what the motion does or anything like that, I think Huskarls would be really great. And funny enough, if you get enough Huskarls, they can actually like they could just dominate. So I definitely could say you could definitely use them in siege and in ranked. If you have gotten a lot of experience with them, like I have, and I am going to be doing a video on them because they're really cool. But personally, in like TW, I probably wouldn't recommend using them because it's just that chant is just too long. It's just way too long. Palace guards are king tier. Everybody knows this. The brace, the CC immunity. It's not even. I wouldn't even have to spend that much time on talking about these guys. Palace guards are just insane. The CC immunity is amazing. They can still kill so many units. Um, and it is crazy how sometimes in a nice chokehold, palace guards can just hold the line so well. So definitely will say, guys, palace guards is always, it's like the literally the first unit you should unlock in the game now. So definitely get them. Uh, Men at Arms, do not use these guys. Now, the only reason I'm going to say you should unlock these guys, though, is so that you can unlock Paladins. However, just do not use these guys. They're very bad. And just so you guys know, um, just do not use them, please. I don't know whether they're going to rework or just keep little small buffing them. But yeah, just do not use them. Banner Guards. I'm going to put Banner Guards at beta tier. Main reason for this is because I feel like banner guards have too high of a skill cap to use in terms of everything. However, I will say this: banner guards were one of the units I can use that can actually kill berserkers, um, like on their charge and even with their two ability and stuff. However, I just personally think banner guards just take too much skill to use, and they're more of just a straight flanking unit. They can't really hold the line in a big blob fight and stuff like that. However, if you can still use these guys, definitely use them. I will say this: banner guards are a really, really fun unit to use. I was having a blast with these guys. So definitely use these guys maybe in siege. Probably won't use them in ranked or TW. However, I will say you can use them in ranked if you actually have a friend with you, and you're playing with the squad, and you say, "Hey, I'm about to reset your charge. Be ready," and all that type of stuff. So they are a good unit. It's just it requires coordination. If you play with randoms, it's not going to be fun. Berserkers are king tier. Everybody knows right now. Berserkers are basically like the Iron Reapers currently. Um, they're like the Iron Reapers of purple units. They got a recent new buff and everything, and they have been really, really insane. Sometimes it feels like sometimes they can't be killed. Um, and I know a lot of people are trying to figure out ways to kind of counter them and everything. I'm probably gonna have to either make a video about it or talk about them or something like that. But they definitely are really, really good in the current meta. Definitely TW wise, definitely ranked wise, and even siege wise. So King Berserkers, absolutely king tier. Stalwarts, I'm going to put Stalwarts at beta tier. Mainly because of the fact that Imperial Shields are just the way better shield unit, and the only thing about Stalwarts that's really good is their brace. Um and like that's about it. And the only reason, I mean, I almost want to put them at buff, please, because it's just like they do feel a bit useless. In the higher games and stuff like that. In the lower games, they can feel really good and stuff. However, you know, you can use them, but they also do need a buff. I think even taking out the back damage thing would be pretty good, or maybe giving them a little bit of like their not their old damage, but a little bit more damage or something, just to change them up because I don't know what it is about stalwarts, but they just don't hit that well, man, anymore. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave my buff, please. I think they do deserve a little bit of a buff, even just so that they can kind of come back into the shield meta and you know do some damage of what they used to do or something, Claymores are going to be alpha tier. Now, the only reason I'm going to put Claymores at alpha tier is because they are a really good unit. They can duke it out with a lot of units, and they have 15 seconds of basically massive glory. Now, the only thing is that Claymores require a lot of skill to use. However, they still can be used in ranked and siege pretty well. And if you use them really well, you can even kill berserkers with them. Now the only thing is using them in CW, the big problem with using claymores in CW is the fact that you have 15 seconds of for freedom and then you have to wait 30, 40 seconds or whatever, or 30 seconds for freedom. So it's really bad. So yeah, in terms of claymores, I'm kind of unsure about them. All right. Saregs, please, devs, if you're watching this video, please buff my Saregs. I've been dying for these guys to get buffed, man, and it's like it's been so many seasons that they just deserve a buff. I want these guys to be able to even almost beat Palace Guards because they are the only straight blunt unit, like blunt shield unit in this game, and just please make my bad boys come back. I love these guys. If you're hearing this, devs, man, buff the Saregs. I don't know how many times I gotta cry for it, man. Just buff these boys. They deserve it. They deserve it. But I will say this, guys. If you guys do use these guys, they are a very fun unit to just do some flanks with. They're fast as well, so definitely have fun with them. Next is Fortebraccio. Fortebraccio are king tier. It's like without a doubt they hold doors. They basically can stop all the cav and everything like that. It's like I don't even really need to talk about Fortebraccio that much. They've been king tier every single time, and especially in a purple only era. Fortebraccio are going to be the unit that is the king of holding the area as long as you have them. So definitely, definitely make sure you get Fortebraccio. Immortal Garrison are going to be king tier. Now, the reason I'm putting these guys king tier is because yes, I understand 100% that they require a lot of skill. However, in an era where it's only purple units, immortal garrisons are just ridiculous. I'm talking about, some people decide that they want to try and go and send their berserkers into immortal garrison, and as long as the immortal garrison, are able to get their formation, they will not die, and they will not get killed by some berserkers and stuff like that. So I just want to say, yes, they do require a lot of skill. They do. They do. They do. They do. But they have amazing CC immunity. They have insane damage, sustain everything. But this unit does require a lot of skill and stuff like that. But in Siege, ranked, and TW, you can definitely use these guys, and they're just wild. They're really really good. And you know as long as you have other people, especially in TW, if you have other people with you and stuff, and you have a Mortal Garrison, good luck trying to get through them because they just are ridiculous. Um, Halberdier Sergeants. I'm going to put these guys at beta. I don't think they need a buff because personally, Halberdier Sergeants are good. Now the big problem is that if you have another unit that has like CC immunity or anything like that, that's where Halberdier Sergeants really struggle. However, Halberdier Sergeants actually can kill other units, kind of like Berserkers. These other units that just charge in and stuff like that. And if you're actually protecting them or they're protected behind some shields or stuff, they actually are really, really good. Now, the only reason I'm putting them at beta tier is simply because of the fact that, like, you have Imperial Pikes and Fortebraccio that you can get a lot more value out of, and almost the same amount of leadership as Halberdier Sergeants. However, Halberdier Sergeants require a lot of skill to use, in terms of, and an actual teammate that's going to stay with you and hold the line and stuff. But they are good. It's just one of those units that is like not king tier, not alpha tier, that like you will see every game and stuff. Sorry guys about the coughs again. Now, Imperial Jabs, I'm going to be putting at alpha tier. These guys are great, in terms of using them in Siege and even TW. However, I'm only putting these guys alpha tier. Sorry, did I say TW? Ranked and Siege. I'm only putting them there because of the fact that it really almost depends on the maps when using these guys, especially as defense or attack. You need a supply that is really, really close near, and in my opinion, if you don't have one, it's going to be one of those things where it's like you're going to send your jabs all the way back just so you can come back, throw twice. If you didn't get any kills, then you have to go back again. But they are definitely a fun unit, and on certain maps, they're actually really, really good. So, I'm going to leave these guys at alpha tier. They definitely are a very fun unit to use, and I know a lot of like dual blades, pole axes, mauls love using jabs. So, definitely going to be alpha tier for the Imperial jabs. Now, Javelin Sergeants are going to be king tier, mainly because of the fact that, they can. Now, the only thing I'm saying here is I'm not saying Javelin Sergeants can really be used in TW, mainly because in TW, you're going to have all the other units. You're not going to need Javs. But the reason I'm putting these guys at king tier is because in ranked and in Siege, these guys are really, really good. At just making, they have so much range, so much ammo. You can basically make sure that they could stop cavalry and everything like that. And especially in ranked, when you have like certain leadership, javelin sergeants are really good at basically being able to, depending on whether you're attack or defense, can either stop these little pushes or kill ranged units that are sitting in the back and stuff like that. So I'm putting these guys at king tier because they are amazing. And simply because they have more ammo and range is why they're better than Imperial Jabs. Paladins, I'm going to be putting these guys at buff, please. Personally, every other sword and shield unit and everything can kind of beat these guys, and it's mainly due to the fact of their back damage that they can receive. So I definitely want these guys a bit more worked on. I think they definitely need to get worked on simply because of the fact that it's just like, one person charges them in, and then one person can stop their entire charge immediately, and then you lose your entire paladin unit in 2 seconds. And then the only good thing about them, though, however, is the XV. If you do the XV on them, it's amazing. So, definitely would say I would love a buff for paladins. Next is spear sergeants. Do not use these guys. Again, imperial shields are better than them, and stalwarts are the upgraded version of them. However, you just don't need to use spear sergeants. I would say once you get spear sergeants, literally just upgrade them for this. The only good thing about spear sergeants is maybe using them in bandit raids or expeditions or something, but just do not use them in regular siege and stuff. It's just not a good unit to use. And you don't want to get used to using them, and then you try and use them in the higher sieges, and you just get demolished and stuff. So um, definitely do not use these guys, but definitely unlock them so you can unlock these stalwarts. All right, so now we are getting into the range units. Here we go. And I mean, it's a couple. So, Vassal Longbows, do not use these guys, please. I know some people are gonna be like, "Yo, Alpha, on some maps, these guys are amazing." Da 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 da. Oh, but Alpha, you just don't use them in Alpha. Listen, do not use these guys, please. Just don't let them get buffed or reworked or something, but just don't use these guys, please. I'm begging you. I'm tired of seeing so many longbow players, and especially you're a melee hero that's not even a ranged hero, and you're just sitting with your longbows at the top of area, not really entirely helping. So, yes, longbows can be very fun to use, or they look really cool when you join the game, but do not use these guys, please. Like, just don't until they get reworked, and then I'll make a new tier list and put them at king tier or something. I don't know. Just don't use them, please. They're like archers are not that good right now entirely, if I'm honest. Imperial archers, however, I want to put Imperial archers in alpha tier, but I'm gonna put them in beta tier. Main reason is because they're really fun to use in siege. In ranked, it's a no-no. I'll be honest. In ranked, I've seen so many people's Imperial Archers get killed immediately. They are really good at killing heroes, and they can be good at killing units and other ranged units. However, I just personally will say, I mean, and the thing is too is that they're the most expensive purple unit. Funny enough, same as some of the other ranged units. Um, but they just personally aren't that good. Mind you guys, I love Imperial Archers, but it either takes a long time for them to go through shields and stuff and get your kills and stuff. But I'll tell you a little scenario that I had yesterday. I had my Imperial Archers, we were firing, and a dual blade popped up in front of them. So I thought my Imperial Archers would kill him. So they did their little volley. They brought him, he had like this much health left. This much health. He did bow shurikens, and he took out half. He just did one bow shurikens and took out half my Imperial Archers. So, and then he still lived. So, yes, Imperial Archers are good. However, they are just very weak. And as long as you're playing a range unit, is good. A ranged hero. But unless you're very aggressive with these guys or anything like that, I personally don't think Imperial Archers are really good to use other than just regular siege. Imperial Arquebusiers, I just would like them to get buffed. Personally, in the current meta, it's like Imperial Arquebusiers are gonna have to stay there. The blob fights push too fast and everything, and Imperial Arquebusiers take too long just to kind of pile drive through. Um, they definitely are fun to use, with their little volley fire and stuff. But like I said, in the current meta right now, Imperial Arquebusiers take too long. They're very weak and they're very, very inaccurate. It's like ridiculous how inaccurate they can be. Sometimes even during the volley fire, they're just super inaccurate. And I'm seeing hit marks, and then it's like a hit mark, but then you're like, no one's dying. So, yeah. Imperial Arquebusiers, I'll be honest, it's just a no. Um, Kriegs, I'm going to be putting at beta tier. Now, I know a lot of people love Kriegs. I know this. In an all purple era, they're nice, but they're only really good in siege. Using them in ranked, you might as well use Shenji, and in TW is just no. You know, they have no ammo. Their ammo's horrible and all that type of stuff. It's not a good thing, but they are really good in Siege. This is why I'm putting them in beta because they're a fun unit to use in Siege, but that's about it. All right. All right, last and not last but not least is the Cav. So Dagger Axe Lancers are just rework, do not use. Um, funny thing is they're kind of like a mini Cataphrax, but their cover commander charge is really slow and it consumes the other charge as well. However, if they maybe change that where it's just they have the charge and then you can cover commander, they can actually be the purple era of Cataphrax. But until they take it off where both charges are used at the same time basically, um yeah, it's just one of those things where you just don't use them. They're a fun cav though. Just to have fun with. Yemen are one of those cav you just do not use either. You don't use these guys. You basically unlock them so that you can get armor gears. Armor gears are amazing. And personally, I hope that you know I don't know what they will do with this unit because the upgraded units, or the upgrade one units are kind of like just basically just don't use them because the upgraded ones are always better. So, yeah, just don't use them. Unlock them so you can get armor gears. Armor gears are king tier. They're the only really good cav we have in the purple era. Um, they're amazing Lancer Cav, and sometimes it's even in like TW and stuff, you can wish, oh, I wish we had some Army Gears right now because Army Gears really do a lot of damage and they are really nasty Cav. And I think even some of the most annoying thing is just their cover commander too. One of the best cover commanders in the game with Army Gears. It's ridiculous. Oh, just filthy, just filthy, filthy Army Gears. Perfectra every cavalry do not use these guys. And I just want to say as well, for all the units that are here, when I say rework, it's also technically a buff as well. So hopefully they do buff Perfection Heavy Cavalry as well. But yeah, just do not use these guys. It's one of those things where it's like, ugh, come on. And last but not least, Sippies. Sippies do deserve a buff again. I don't know how to make them better. Give them maybe some more speed or something, but sheesh, Sippies are so bad in this current meta. It's like, oh, then you just, you try to use them, and then someone comes with RB gears, and they kill your Sippies. You're like, what the, you know. But, anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this tier list. I think it was pretty easy to make this tier list. And don't forget, King tier is basically you're gonna see them in every game mode. TW, ranked, siege. Alpha tier is gonna be one of those things where you're gonna see them in probably ranked and siege more often than not, but that's about it. And then so on and so forth. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to say, oh no, but this unit goes here, put it down in the comment section below. I'll definitely read it and stuff like that. But I will see you guys next time. Deuces, have a good one, and some crazy shit, man. Some I hope some of these units do get buffed, you know what I mean, because they definitely deserve more balancing and stuff in this game. Peace out, boys.